Are you ready to do this?
Yeah, sounds good.
Let's
Ready.
do this. So I want to welcome everybody to another episode of our 10 and 20 podcast. The way this podcast works, Cindy, it's in the title. We're going to do 10 questions in 20 minutes. I'll do a quick little intro, but I'm mainly going to throw to you because it's your opportunity to talk. Like it's not, this is about you. This is not about me. So introduce yourself, give me your name, your age, how you know us at Youth Services. If it's like just through the Youth Excellence Award, that's totally fine. And then we'll get into these 10 questions.
Sounds good.
Straight to you.
Right, hi, I'm Cindy. I'm 22 years old at the moment and I'm a powerlifter. I know Youth Services through receiving the Youth Excellence Award last year, which I'm very privileged and grateful to have been able to receive.
Was that your first time at like receiving that award?
Yes, it was. It was. I haven't been in this council for too long.
Mm-hmm.
Been moving around quite a bit for university and all that.
We're definitely going to touch on your university story because you are one hella qualified person, both in your sporting like area and in your cause you study medicine, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm done now actually.
You're done.
Yeah.
So I have a doctor sitting opposite me, don't I? Do I have a doctor sitting across from me?
Something like that.
That's insane. All right, let's get into these 10 questions because we're going to like uncover your journey as we go anyway.
Sounds good.
Our first question is, what led you to the sport of powerlifting?
It's actually quite a funny story, a little bit ironic. One of my friends, I used to be a long distance runner, so I ran Melbourne Marathon about 3 or 4 years ago now. One of my friends from running actually introduced me and brought me to a gym where she was doing powerlifting. I wasn't really that keen on it at the time. I sort of just wanted to see what it was and give it a go. But I'd recently just hit a 40 kilo bench press PB in the gym by myself.
Yeah.
And the day that she brought me in, my current coach and the person who runs my gym, Mark, improved that from 40 kilos to 50 kilos.
Just like that.
Just from a few technique adjustments. And I sort of, this is pretty good. I don't know. And yeah, I was pretty much hooked from then and decided to continue because it's very exhilarating hitting a PB even still now.
Yeah. It's a big shift from like endurance running to powerlifting.
Yeah.
Are you still running?
No.
That's totally fine.
I was for a little bit for the first year that I was powerlifting.
Yeah.
Roughly. And I did Melbourne half.
Yeah.
A week before my first powerlifting competition.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was pretty much the end of my running career.
Yeah, fair. Because again, like two totally different trainings, two totally different like areas of interest.
Yeah, it's more so the time than anything really.
That goes into both.
Maintain, enough time for both powerlifting training. And
Yeah.
running.
We have a question later in these around your training schedule and what that looks like. So we'll come back to that. Let's go. What was your experience at the World Classics and like the powerlifting championship?
Oh, it was really good. It was really phenomenal.
Where was the event? Give me a bit of everything. Yeah, okay.
St. Paul's Bay in Malta. Really beautiful place.
Mm-hmm.
I've never even been to Europe before, so it was definitely experience traveling there.
How do you get the call up to that event? Like, do you know what I mean?
So essentially it was Junior Worlds, so you win Junior Nationals and you get an invite. And then if there are not enough people, sometimes there's like secondary placings. So I was lucky enough to actually go with I competed in under 63 kilos at that competition. And I was lucky enough to have another person from Australia who also competed in under 63s compete at Worlds with me.
Yep.
And I think my weight class was maybe one of the only weight classes that had 2 Australians in it.
Yeah, okay.
Which was really nice as well. But it was just the entire experience was brilliant. I mean, I didn't come in with too many expectations. I got to meet the entire Australian team who were all really lovely and it was really amazing. And I got to meet people from different countries. We do the whole thing where we swap our singlets.
Yeah.
Swapped with Elsa from Spain.
Yeah,
so
cool.
Shout out to her.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just really nice being in an environment where everyone does similar things to you and has a similar mindset.
Yeah, you're all there for the same reason. But it's also a competitive environment too.
Yeah.
So you're there to push yourself and try and get a result that you're happy with.
Yeah, of course.
Were you happy with your result over there?
Yeah. Reasonably so.
Reasonably. Let's go question 3. What advice would you give to someone who's considering powerlifting? Or how would you even go about getting into powerlifting? Do you know what I mean?
I think a lot of people nowadays are going to the gym. More and more people are going to the gym anyway. So it's just a different method of training to how most people, sort of get into the gym. I mean, I've been going to the gym for ages, and I started off with just doing classes with my mum in the morning.
Mhm.
So now it's evolved into this. But if you're specifically interested in powerlifting, I think the first tip would be to get a coach, because there's so much noise out there about, you know, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. You know, you can't eat this, you can't do that. Really, you're going to improve realistically anyway.
Mhm.
If you're a beginner especially, you can do anything and you're still going to improve.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter, just staying consistent in the gym and, you know, and for me, handing over and putting my trust in a coach is
Yeah.
the best way that I can do that. Otherwise, I feel I'd probably, if I was coaching myself, I'd probably, you know, should I really be doing this? Oh, but, you know, this study says this and this Instagram influencer says this and this other coach says this. So it's...
And again, you said like
definitely get a
even
coach.
like when you first met your coach, it was like that little technique thing which just like took you like made you like gave you that jump anyway. So I think it sounds like a coach is the way to go.
Yes.
All right, let's go. This is a little bit about your journey. So again, you're now a doctor. You've finished studying. What did you study?
I studied medicine at Monash University.
Insane. That's just like, again, I totally feel underqualified sitting opposite you, but that's totally fine. So how was your studying? Like, how did your studying journey has it impacted your like athletic journey, your sporting journey? Has there been anything you've taken from studying medicine and stuff across to powerlifting?
So I guess quick disclaimer, I'll put
Yeah.
it this way first. My medical career is probably the thing that I'm most passionate about.
Cool.
And that will always come first before my powerlifting career.
Mhm.
Obviously, I'd like to be able to balance both, but if I had to choose, powerlifting will be the one to go over.
Yeah, okay.
career.
All right, maybe in like a year or two we'll be doing another podcast on your medical journey, but that's fine.
But in medical school, it actually wasn't really difficult to balance at all. It's sort of just, you know, I train Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturdays in the evenings, and I just sort of just went and trained, and it was quite easy to get time off as a student. My university was very supportive. Monash has a very good sort of elite student athlete program, which allows you to get extensions and take time off. So when I had to go to Malta, wasn't a problem. When I went to nationals, I just took one day off to travel to Newcastle, and I was in my final year of medicine, so all of our, you know, classes and stuff are done in the hospital, and my team, which was infectious diseases at the Alfred at the time, was very supportive of me going, and didn't really bat an eye. They were actually very excited for me, so it was quite nice.
So they should be. You're off like traveling the world doing some really, really cool stuff, and stuff that you should be proud of. Let's go question 5. With everything that you have going on, so you're juggling studying, you're juggling training, you're a friend, are you working, like all these kind of things. How do you find time for yourself? How do you look after yourself? Because you're hella busy.
Yeah, I suppose it definitely helps genuinely enjoying my sport and genuinely enjoying my job.
Yep.
I think it doesn't feel like something I need a break on so much. I've actually only been working full time for about 4 weeks now.
Yeah, okay.
And I think that since I've started working, I've been a lot happier than I was when I wasn't working. And I'm actually only working 3.5 days a week. So it's 40 hours a week, but they're all sort of squished into
massive
3.5
days.
days, which is how I'm here on a Friday.
Yep.
So it's basically on my days off, I do things with my friends and family and other people. And
as you said, it's all about enjoying the things that you do. So you enjoy training, you enjoy working out and all that kind of stuff. So it's not effort. Do you know what I mean? Let's go. You touched on like what your rough training schedule looks like. Does it change when you're like prepping for a contest or a competition or anything like that? So like a normal, like give me a normal week. Give me a rough normal week, and then like give me a little bit of like lead up into comp.
I've been in comp prep for quite a while.
Cool.
To be honest. So, but I started off training 3 days a week. They were, 2-hour sessions, maybe 90 minutes. But now my sessions are more looking 4 days a week, 3.5 hours, long sessions, a lot of rest. I do my Anki flashcards to study.
Yeah.
During my sets, in the middle of my sets as well.
Yeah.
So that's, that plays into the balance a little bit.
Give me an actual give me what if you're doing a 3.5 hour workout. Give me like what are you doing?
Oh, okay.
Give me some detail.
This is very different based on coaching, but my coach likes to do, and I also like to squat, bench, and deadlift, which are the three main lifts in powerlifting, pretty much every session. So on Monday, I'll do, at the moment, it's like 7 sets of 7 of squat, 7 sets of 7 of bench, and then like 6 sets of 4 of deadlifts or something like that.
What are you lifting?
Oh,
Flex a little bit. Like, what are you lifting roughly in a training session?
what do I lift? So I'm actually only 2 weeks out from a competition now.
Cool.
So what I'm supposed to be lifting is not necessarily what I'm lifting because it's getting quite fatiguing. And
Yeah.
You know, but I think like around 140 squat for that many reps, 75 bench for that many reps, and then 130 deadlift or something like that.
Absolute beast.
Around those numbers.
What are you aiming for at the upcoming comp? If you're 2 weeks out from the comp, like what are you aiming to be lifting in
to
each?
Win.
Yeah, but like as in like, of course we're going to win. That's the whole like anybody competing wants to win. But like, what are you wanting to lift at those comps? Do you have a weight target for like each that you want to lift or like?
So I suppose I don't really care what I lift as long as I win.
Yeah, cool.
But what
makes
I would like
sense.
to lift is
Yeah.
In training I've hit a 170 squat, and I would be absolutely stoked to hit that. I can already feel that while I'm cutting, I'm dropping body weight. The squat's definitely taken a bit of a toll, so I would be absolutely stoked if I could hit a 170 squat. Bench, I've hit 95 kilos in training, hoping to maintain that as well. Maybe potentially push it a little bit. We'll see how we're feeling.
Yeah.
And then deadlift, I've hit a 170 kilo deadlift, failed 172.5, so 172.5 or more.
That is what you're going for. Yeah, that's absolutely insane. Let's go question 7. Let's go. What's a valuable skill that you've learned from someone along the way, either in your powerlifting journey or in your like studying journey that's stuck with you that you like, do you know what I mean? Go.
I suppose the value of consistency through seeing, so the unique thing about my gym is that we all train together.
Yep.
So even on Christmas Day, me and the other 3 girls going to National were training together in the gym, and it was really sad, but really, really lovely at the same time. And I feel like with both my powerlifting and studying, I don't feel that I'm ever really making any progress. There's never really a time where I think, I know a lot more about knee anatomy, or I know a lot more about, something or the other in medicine, or I can suddenly lift a lot more.
Yep.
But then one day it sort of clicks, and then you go back and you think back to how you were, 6 months ago, and I actually have made quite a bit of improvement. But you don't necessarily see that going into the gym every day. It's kind of tedious, and even with study as well.
Yeah.
So why am I doing this?
Yeah.
And then one day it will click.
Yeah, I love that. And being consistent is clearly key for you. Let's go run us through some of your highlights so far, because like there's a stack in front of me, but like let's hear from you. Give me some highlights, and then I want like finish with like what's been your biggest highlight so far.
Okay.
So give me
some highlights.
Give me some highlights.
My first competition, I think, because I wasn't that sure about powerlifting until I competed. The environment is so amazing. I mean, it was my first local competition. I wasn't lifting a whole lot. But if anyone's even thinking about competing, 100% do it. People are so supportive. It's so lovely.
Yep.
And winning nationals was a massive highlight as well. I got drug tested, which is a bit of a compliment.
Was that last year, 2024?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also going to Worlds would be my biggest highlight in terms of powerlifting.
Yeah.
Just getting to travel to Malta with my coach, which was very lucky of me. It was honestly just amazing. Getting to travel, getting to compete with the best.
You've definitely done some really, really incredible things. Let's go. What's next for you?
So
this can be any direction you want to take it, like, or give me both directions. Give me like medical and powerlifting, whatever you want to give.
Sure. Okay. I suppose we'll start with medical then.
Cool.
I'm currently learning how to be a junior doctor. Well, I'm a junior doctor now, but still learning how to do things. Ultimately, I want to go into orthopedic surgery. I think that's probably what I'm most passionate about. I've sort of considered other things as well, and I'm trying to keep an open mind, but somehow still drawn to that.
Yep.
Trying to get some research published at the moment. I enjoy that, doing that a bit as well. And of course, intertwining the orthopedic stuff into the powerlifting stuff, I'm really interested in biomechanics. So maybe looking at a bit of that in the future as well.
Yeah. Cool. I've got some goals on this sheet in front of me that I'm going to throw at you that you've also. Yeah. Let's see how they go. So again, you want to bring back a medal for Australia, correct? In powerlifting.
Yes.
Is that still a goal of yours?
Possibly.
Maybe. Let's go. You had total over 455 kilos.
Yes.
Still.
Yeah. So that's something that I said on the way back home from Malta. I said
Correct.
to my coach, hey, let's cut down to 57 kilos because I was competing in 63s.
Yep.
And I was like, I want to total 1,000 pounds, which is 455 kilos in the next year, and join the 1,000 pound club. And he was like, absolutely no way. If you total 455 kilos, I will coach you for free. I said, all right, bets on.
So bets on, huh?
Given that he really didn't have any faith in me, I was like, okay, I probably won't do that. But I recently hit 435 kilos in training, and he said by the end of the year, if I total 455, that's the deal.
The offer's still on the table.
Yeah, so it's just another 20 kilos. What's that?
Exactly. I mean, it's just 20 kilos, is a little bit. I've got on here your squat or deadlift goal is 200. Is that still accurate?
Yeah, for more of a long-term thing, but yes, for sure.
You want to win nationals? Or you want to win open nationals
Yes.
this year? That's
2 weeks coming up.
That's what you're going for?
That's what I'm going for.
Incredible. If you do, we're totally going to have to come back and do something because what else we have? And you want to grow the sport. So give me something in that space because there is a massive stereotype around the sport. You said you were drug tested.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you want to grow this? How do you want to grow the sport in that space? Do you know what I mean?
Yes. So I believe that with everything in medicine, in powerlifting, that the growth of the sport at the sort of grassroots level starts with the people who have been established in it as well. So I think now that I would say I'm relatively established, I mean, I'm getting there, probably not the most, but, getting there. One of my personal goals and my goal with the gym and the rest of my teammates is to grow the sport from that level. So I think previously there was a stereotype, especially with, some of the documentaries coming out, which have been very good, to be fair. Side barbell, that it's for sort of massive, angry men specifically who, are blasting steroids.
Yeah.
But I compete in a drug-tested sport, and they do a lot for growing the sport as well by sort of, PGing it a little bit and making everything really nice and getting drug tested as well. So I think currently powerlifting is growing as well, but in terms of my personal goals to grow the sport, just encouraging people to join, and if people seem interested in lifting, to encourage them to, possibly compete. And my gym is actually currently upgrading, and then we've got a bigger space now, and it's going to encourage more general members to come and, strength train in general, because ultimately I believe that that's a good thing. And
where's your gym, and when is it reopening?
Yeah, so my gym's in Mulgrave, and we're moving to Notting Hill. It's called MD Strength.
Not that far.
Yeah, and I think we're holding an open day at the end of March, which
cool.
I'm going to go to.
Yeah.
Try and help out, maybe bake some cookies.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, just see who comes by.
Incredible. Let's finish with I'm going to finish with a random question. I throw a random question at the end of every episode. You haven't seen this question. You've got no idea what it is.
No.
If you had to create an Olympic sport, what would it be? It can be related to powerlifting. It could be something that's completely the Olympics are trying to add in, they change their sports all the time.
They do.
So what event would you like to see at the Olympics, next Olympics, that is currently not an event?
My uncreative thing would be, I would enjoy powerlifting because I would love to compete at the Olympics. If they put powerlifting to the Olympics, that would be great.
Do you think they should?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think so. If they have weightlifting, why isn't powerlifting a part of?
I think it's the history with sort of the stereotypes surrounding it.
Again, that's what we're here to do. We want to break that.
Exactly. It's coming. What else?
You can stick with just that. That's totally fine. But if you do have a creative answer, I'm all for it.
I feel like I would enjoy like some sort of artistic ball sport potentially.
Yeah, cool.
Like juggling maybe. I used to play soccer. I like watching juggling.
Juggling, cup stacking, anything like that.
stacking.
Let's bring in something that's like a little bit not mainstream.
Yeah,
I
juggling.
like it.
Don't mind it.
I want to thank you so much for being a part of this episode today. Do you have anything that you want to plug quickly before we finish?
No, not really, to be honest.
I want to I want to wish you all the best for nationals in 2 weeks.
Thank you.
This episode will be launching probably in April, so we're going to have a result by then, and we're going to partner with like a news article about you and all that kind of stuff. So
Great.
exactly, more promo for you. How good's that?
Better win then.
No pressure on our end at all. No pressure. But yeah, that's it from us. So like, thank you so much for coming down and being a part of today's episode.
Thank you.